we're going to start with the discussion with the Lions and what concerns you about this game against the Bears. And I know Justin Fields is probably the number one concern, right? The Lions have not been able to contain a running quarterback yet this season. They faced several of them, and all of them have flourished, whether it was Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, Josh Allen. It hasn't mattered. Even Justin Fields, the first time they faced him, they struggled. 147 yards on the ground for Justin Fields. It's been a problem. And coming off the heels of the loss at Carolina, where the Lions gave up 320 yards rushing, I mean, there's not a whole lot of confidence there. But if we've decided to move on from that game, which I have, I think that's an anomaly, and it's a clunker. It happened. I was curious to see what Aaron Glenn was going to say yesterday after practice, and he basically said the same thing. We have to move on. We can't keep looking back. We have to look forward as a defense. But he's encouraged by what they've seen this week at practice. Hopefully that's the case. But they may have some issues. They're still dealing with some injury issues. Is Elliott going to be able to play at safety? I mean, he hasn't practiced, got the shoulder injury, and he definitely helps out the Lions defense. If he's not able to go, someone else is going to have to step up. That's been the mantra, the whole next man up theory with Dan Campbell and his team. But they do have some issues to work out. Absolutely, they've got issues to work out defensively. Offensively, back in the friendly confines of Ford Field, where the team plays very well. Jared Goff has played extremely well at home. And offensively, they're relatively healthy. So it should bode well on paper. There's always a concern with Frank Ragnow and how injured that foot is, or that toe is, that the injury, dealing with turf toe is a monster pain in the ass. It just is. Everybody will tell you that's ever suffered it, that it is a painful injury. It doesn't go away, and it's just dealing with pain. Legendary Hall of Fame linebacker Jack Lambert of the Pittsburgh Steelers had to retire because of turf toe issues. And then famously said at one point in time, sorry to have to retire for such a blanking injury. Was not being very nice about what kind of an injury it was. But in fact, he had to, which was terrible for him because he was a lot of fun to watch as a kid. And I was a big Jack Lambert fan. I hated the Steelers. But that's neither here nor there. This week, this Sunday, Lions and Bears. It should be a huge crowd on hand to cheer on the Lions. You folks out there actually make a difference. It's tangible. You can make a difference. Lots of times you hear, it's a home crowd, home field advantage. The crowd really lifted us, and you think it's just BS. It's not when it comes to Ford Field, because we've seen it. What happened years ago on a Sunday night matchup against the Bears? There were 10-plus penalties attributed to the Bears for false starts and delay of games. Why? The crowd. You folks were loud. You were in charge. You're the ones that created all those turnovers, or those penalties. Absolutely. Can it be the same atmosphere Sunday with everything is on the line? Right now, the Lions are in playoff mode. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling that they're in playoff mode? Of course they need help. But the first thing they can do is help themselves by beating the Bears.